everyone, I'm Barbara from Fairies in My Pond, and today I'm just working on a doll that I am starting to make, and I thought I would just put the camera on and just let you see what it is that I've done and what I'm doing. Now, in my last tutorial, I shared with you that I was going to show you how I came up with an idea for beginners to get their eyes in place and the same shape, and this doll was already beyond that, so I won't be showing you that in this tutorial. Okay, now I wanted to share this with some of you, is that one of my most favorite tools is nothing but a plastic straw. I love using these, and matter of fact, I really do. I use this more than a lot of things, but I do have a couple of metal tools that I do use quite a bit. Okay, I also have my cornstarch, and that is the way that I have it sitting on my table when I'm using it. I always want to keep it covered because dust can get in it. Okay, now for her, I have been trying to make her more even on both sides. That's where I'm at with her, and I've had to add some clay. Now I'm going to share this with you, is that a lot of times, depending, let me get my clean straw here, a lot of times when I'm doing eyes and they are going to be large, or you can downsize it by starting it out this way. But I take a straw, and what I want to do is I want to make sure that I'm not going off to the side. I want to make sure that I'm going straight on, and I'm going to slant it. Let me see if I can show you sideways. Let me get it in first. Okay, now I'm just going to slant it just a little bit. Can you see that? And I'm just going to press down just to make the impression. Now I do have a wax core inside, and I will be melting that out. So I will be drilling these eyes out, and I will be putting her eyes in from inside of the head. Okay. Always check to see if you're pretty even, and that's what I'm doing. And I can see I'm a little bit higher here. Now, I've never experienced this, but somebody had told me this, and maybe it was just the type of straw or something, but she had said that she was using the straw, and then the little the color started to come off, and it got into her clay. I've never had that happen to me, so I just want to put that out so that if you decide to use a straw, that you're aware of that. But see, I just love it. You can do really some nice things with it once you get the hang of it. Okay, now I've added the clay, and I see I'm going to have to add some right up in here, but I'm going to show you how I take this right here, and I'm going to start blending it. Now when I added this clay, I put that down, and I put the pressure down on the center of that. So now I'm just going to move my clay out. I guess it's, what would it be, like rolling out dough? You want to go from the center out. That's what I find that works very well for me. And I'm putting very little pressure because it doesn't take much. Okay, now if I were to do this, and I've got it going, then see how I can do that? No pressure, because I don't want it to, I added the clay, so I don't want to go back to where I started from by pushing it in. I'm just rolling it lightly on top. And see how that works? And then, of course, when I get this all blended, I'll have to clean her up. And then take the smaller straw for the more smaller areas, and I will just roll it very lightly. And I'm focusing on, while I'm doing this, that everything is rounded. I don't want to roll that to where I am making it flat. See if I can turn it around. See how I'm doing it? And then, like right in here, let's see if I can bring the camera up a little bit. See if that's not better. Then I will take, see that little area, the area right in there? I'll take the straw and very lightly go from the center out to that seam so that you can blend it. And sometimes, I'm going to give you this little tip too, is that I don't always have to do it, but sometimes I'll put a little bit of cornstarch on it and, you know, just dust it, and it just really will slide nicely over your clay. That's if your clay is, like, the straw is grabbing the clay and you want it to slide a little bit more, just dust it with the cornstarch. Same thing around the mouth. And it's really, really best, boy, if you have something to where it can hold your head and you're not putting your fingers on it. And I know sometimes I'm not thinking and I'll go and I'll put my finger on it like that. That's a constant reminder to myself. You think I would not do it. Okay, then just take your smaller one and just go lightly, very lightly. Whoops. Okay, now this side here, it's already been put down, so I would take my straw and just lightly bring that clay out. You know, a lot of people think that when they first find out about polymer clay and they think they want to sculpt, that they have to have all these tools, and you don't. Because I do. I have a few that, you know, I paid some pretty good money for them, and I love them till this day. But these little tools right here, I'll always go back to them. And then the other thing that you can do, which I don't have one here because they do get ruined, is that if you have an area, you can cut your straw and make it into the shape, like if you wanted a little round shape or a pointed shape. You can always do that. I've done that. But the only thing with that is that you might get some little rigid edges, so you'd have to have very good sharp scissors or knife if you're going to do it with a knife. Okay, I'm just looking, putting my straw from the corner of the mouth to the corner of the eye there. Same thing here. And then by doing this, I am looking to see if they're level. And then I wanted to show you this too, is that as I'm doing this, I also have a visual in my head, and you guys don't know what it is, so I'm going to share that with you, because I have found that artists have visuals in their thinking, and they'll be sitting there doing it, and you don't know what it is that what visual that they have, and you would miss the whole thing of understanding what it is that they're doing. Okay? I'm just going to go ahead and roughly draw this in. And I do have this in one of my other tutorials, but it was one of the first ones that I did, and I had a webcam, and I did so many ums. And I've wanted to take it down, I really have, but I get so many emails off of that it has helped them, so I just leave it up. But I'm a work in progress. Okay, here you go. I have a center here, and let me show you this, because this can help out too. Let me see if I can do this. Okay, I'm going to take a ruler here, and I'm just going to line it up. Okay, here's my mouth. Let me see. Get this. I'm paying attention to this and not checking to see if it's in the camera. Okay. Let me just tilt it until I get this on there. Okay. This little ruler has helped me out so much sometimes. Okay, I'm going to line it up to where the center would be. Just going to put my mark there, because this part here, I can always have that off just a little bit, and by doing this with the circle, it helps me. Now I'm going to have a little impression here, so you don't want to really press down really hard, but I want enough to where I can see it. Okay, there's that one, and there's that one. Okay, I've got a lot of work to do. Okay, now back to what it is that I'm seeing. Okay, here's the center. Not all dolls would be this way, but this one in particular is. Okay, here's the center. And what I'm visualizing is my heart. Now her brow will actually go up here. Now, she's going to have a high brow. Okay, now I don't want to dig into this too much, and I like to bring it all the way out. To where the jawbone would be. Okay, and I'm just visualizing that heart. Now this helps me with getting it both sides the same amount of clay. And I'm going to do the same thing. Let's see, get that back in there. Take it out. Now I might be a little bit off on this side because of the angle, but you'll get the idea. And just bring it down, and I tried to get that lined up. Okay, can you see how I've done that? See where my line is? Here's, I take it up to right about where the ball if this is the ball of the chin, okay, I will take that line right up to where that ball would start, and I would do this, make sure that this is lining up the same as I have on the other side. I want them to be both the same. Then I'm going to take this off, and I'm going to show you what else I have to look at. Turn it around this way. Okay, as I brought this around, and sometimes I have to bring it out more, because I want it to go, the jawline to be right about where that stick is, in the center of that stick. Now, normally I would not be sketching this in. I would be just visualizing it. But I want you guys to see what it is that I'm visualizing. Okay, same thing. Okay, now I'm going to hold it, but I'm going to tell myself to hold it very, very easy. I'm going to very quickly do this, because I think you guys got the drift. Okay, now, as I do that, okay, here's where the jaw is, okay? Bring my line across, and I'm pretty much right on it. Okay, now, when I look at this, this is when I'll start working with it, and I will make sure that this side of my clay is the same shape as this side. And remembering, by me doing that, which I do want to put it back, whoops, and then I just work my straw you know, very, very lightly. Because see, now I've got to get those lines out of there. But like I said, I wouldn't have put those in. And here is like the center, okay? And I need to come down. Whoops. There. Now that's how I visualize it. So now I have a lot of smoothing to do, but I wanted to show you how I visualize that, how I get my both sides to line up, and of course always turn your piece in every direction so that you can see if it's lining up. But by me putting that line in helps me out a lot to stay in focus in that one area to work with to get it symmetrical. Okay, everyone? I think I'm going to let it go from there, and I'm going to go ahead and work on this some more. If I come to an area to where I think I have something I